Hey friend, please subscribe. 1 second for you. Big deal for me. My name is Daniel. I'm 30. And until 2 months ago, I thought I was marrying the most principled person I'd ever met. Ava, my fiancée, is 28. If you asked anyone who knows her, they'd say she's disciplined, organized, a boundaries queen. Her favorite line, she's said it for as long as I've known her, is, "I don't do other people's chaos." The first time I heard it, it sounded healthy, like self-respect wrapped in a sentence. Now it sounds like something else. We keep separate finances. We split bills straight down the middle. The lease has both our names on it. She's a UX designer. I'm a maintenance tech at a hospital. Nothing sexy, but steady. 3 weeks before everything blew up, my older sister Nina called me from a supply closet between rounds. Nina's a nurse, single mom to my 7-year-old nephew, Leo. Her landlord sold the duplex with 30 days' notice and the new owner raised rent by $800. She'd found a new place, but there'd be a 2-week gap between leases. She'd swallowed her pride to ask, "Could Leo and I crash on your sofa for 14 days? I'll pay for groceries. I'll be invisible. I can't afford a hotel and childcare at the same time." I told her I'd talk to Ava. I walked into our place with takeout and explained the situation as gently as possible. Ava's face didn't shift. "I'm sorry that's happening," she said. "But the answer is no." No? This is our home. I don't do live-ins. I don't do other people's chaos. She said it like a policy on a laminated sign. "It's 2 weeks. It's my sister and my nephew." Exactly. Your sister, your nephew, not my responsibility. She set her chopsticks down neatly. "You know how I grew up. Relatives in and out. Borrowed couches, borrowed money. I promised myself never again." She's not bringing a traveling circus. It's literally a couch and a kid's backpack. Ava's mouth tightened. "If we start bending the boundary, it stops being a boundary. Tell her you'll help in another way. Book them an extended stay somewhere. Those run $200 a night, Ava." "Then that's the cost of the choice you want to make. Your family, your solution, your cash." I stared at her. "You're really asking me to choose between my sister and you." "I'm asking you to respect our home. If we're not aligned on this, we should rethink whether we're compatible for marriage." She said it so calmly it landed harder than yelling would have. I didn't yell. I nodded, went to the bedroom, and sat on the edge of the bed until the seams of my life stopped buzzing. Then I called Nina back and told her the truth. She cried, quiet, humiliated tears. I told her to pack anyway. I drove to her place, loaded her things, and checked her and Leo into a decent extended stay on my credit card. 2 weeks prepaid, $2,856. I bought groceries, set up a little Lego city on the desk for Leo, and told Nina I'd take him to school on my early shifts so she could sleep. Ava saw the charge in our joint budget doc. "You actually did it?" "My family. My solution. My cash," I said, repeating her words as neutrally as I could. She pursed her lips like I'd used the wrong font. Nina found a new apartment. The gap closed. Leo made me a felt heart that said, "Thank you, Uncle D," in wonky letters. I taped it to our fridge. Ava took it down and stuck it inside the pantry door. To keep the kitchen aesthetic clean. I let it go. Peace is expensive sometimes. Then the universe showed up with a mirror. Ava's brother Tyler is 32 and allergic to boring decisions. He bounces from crypto to dropshipping to brand consultancy, like a frog on hot concrete. On a Tuesday night, Ava's phone started buzzing like it was shorting out. She picked up, listened for a full minute, and went the color of printer paper. "What happened?" I asked. "Tyler, his business partner, ghosted with clients' deposits. There's a class action forming. He needs a place to land and cash to retain an attorney. Just short term. He'll pay us back." "How much is short term for an attorney?" "5 to 10,000 to start," she said quickly. "And we have a second bedroom. He'd stay there." I leaned against the counter. "You don't do live-ins." "That's different," she shot back. "This is family. Nina and Leo are my family." Ava rubbed her temples. "Tyler's situation is dire. There could be criminal exposure. He's scared, Daniel." Nina was sleeping in her car between double shifts with a 7-year-old. "You called that chaos and said, 'Your family, your solution, your cash.'" She stared at me like I'd slapped her. "Are you quoting me back to hurt me?" "I'm repeating your boundary." "You're being vindictive." "I'm being consistent." Her jaw set. "If you don't help my brother, I will never forgive you." "You threatened to rethink our engagement over my sister on a sofa," I said. "And now you want my half of our savings to finance your brother's attorney." Ava stepped closer. "If you love me, you'll help." I pulled my phone out and hit play. A voice memo. I'd made it the night she said we should rethink the engagement. "I don't make recordings as weapons. I make them because I forget the exact shape of hard conversations, and I hate gaslighting myself." Her voice filled our kitchen, cool and measured. "I don't do other people's chaos. Your family, your solution, your cash. If we're not aligned, we're not compatible." When the audio ended, the fridge hummed and the clock clicked. "That was a different situation," she said finally. "Was it? He didn't choose this. His partner. Nina didn't choose a landlord who sells a building. Leo didn't choose anything." Ava's phone lit up again. "He's outside," she whispered. I opened the door before she could. Tyler stood there with 2 gym bags and a swagger he hadn't earned. "Yo, you must be the famous Daniel." He sniffed the air like he owned it. "What's for dinner?" Ava moved to step aside. I blocked the doorway with my palm on the jamb. "There's a budget hotel at the interchange with weeklies. I can Venmo half if Ava wants to cover the other half." Tyler blinked. "What?" Ava rounded on me. "You're unbelievable." "Your rules," I said. "If I broke them for Nina, you'd have ended us. I'm not breaking them for Tyler." Tyler laughed, ugly and brittle. "This is a power trip." "This is a boundary," I said, and closed the door gently but firmly. Ava slept at her parents' that night. I didn't sleep at all. By morning, my phone had more notifications than a slot machine. A family group chat I didn't remember agreeing to join lit up. Ava's mom, her dad, her aunts and uncles, cousins, and Tyler himself. The narrative in there was simple. Daniel refuses to help family. What a cold man. Is this who we're letting into our family? I typed nothing. I waited. At noon, Ava's mom called my phone directly. "Daniel, honey, we heard you won't let Tyler stay." "I'm honoring Ava's boundaries," I said. "We don't do live-ins. We don't fund other people's chaos." A pause. "Ava said that?" "When my sister was homeless," I said. "She threatened to end our engagement if I let them sleep on our sofa. I paid for an extended stay out of pocket." Silence longer than a dial tone. "I didn't know," her mom said softly. "Let me call you back." 10 minutes later, the group chat detonated. Ava's uncle dropped a single line. Boundaries are cute until they're pointed at you. Ava typed paragraphs about context and respect and how she wasn't heartless, she was healthy. Her cousin replied with a screenshot of a Venmo request from Tyler labeled, "Retainer, LOL." Ava's aunt asked why the man asking for $5,000 was also posting bottle service selfies from last weekend. Tyler told everyone to mind their business. No one did. Ava came home that evening looking worn and sharp at the same time. "You humiliated me," she said. "No," I said. "Your words did that. I just pressed play." She saw the felt heart Leo made peeking from the pantry door and yanked it off the tape. "This is tacky," she said and tore the paper. Something in me tore with it. I picked the two halves up and fit them together with shaking hands. "I'm going for a walk." On the sidewalk, I finally admitted to myself what I'd been dodging. People tell you who they are. The trick is believing them the first time. The next night, after ignoring 3 calls from Tyler and 2 from Ava's dad, I sat Ava down at our kitchen table. "We need to talk like adults." Her eyes were red. "If this is about Tyler staying here, I'm done talking." "It's not," I said. "It's about us. I won't marry into a standard that says my family is chaos and your family is sacred. That's not partnership. That's a caste system." "So what?" she said, voice flat. "You're calling it off? Because I refuse to let your sister move in? Because I value my peace?" "Because you weaponized peace," I said. "Because you told me love looks like locking the door on a 7-year-old. Because the first time you needed an exception, you demanded I burn the rule book and hand you a match." She was very still. "If you walk away, you'll regret it." "If I stay," I said, "I'll become someone I don't recognize." She stood. "I'll be at my parents'. I'll send for my things." I nodded. "I'll take my name off the venue contract. Keep the date if you want. Call it whatever you want." She grabbed her keys. "I hope your sister appreciates what she cost you." "She didn't cost me anything," I said quietly. "You did." When the door closed, the apartment sounded like a seashell. I sat with the halves of Leo's heart on the table until the edges weren't shaking in my hands anymore. Then, I taped them back together and stuck the heart on the fridge, front and center. 2 weeks passed. Tyler found a place. His college buddy's sofa. He posted a series titled, "Haters Said I Couldn't Bounce Back," with motivational captions under photos of iced coffee and laptop screens. Ava's family stopped tagging me in anything. The wedding venue emailed me a cancellation fee. I paid it, alone in the living room that had once felt like ours. I thought it was over. The phone rang at 5:42 a.m. It was the hospital. A pipe had burst in the old wing. My supervisor asked if I could come in early. I said yes, pulled on work boots, and knocked on Nina's new door on my way out to take Leo to school. He answered in dinosaur pajamas, hair like a wheat field, and saluted with a plastic soldier. "Uncle D, Nana pancakes?" "Nana pancakes Saturday," I said. "Today, we sprint." By lunch, the pipe was patched, the floor fans were humming, and my phone buzzed with an unknown number. I almost let it go to voicemail, then picked up on instinct. "Is this Daniel?" A man's voice, crisp. "I'm Mark H. I handle tenant relations for your building. It's unusual, but your fiancé's brother has contacted our office multiple times requesting we add him to your lease as an occupant." I leaned against a cinder block wall. "No." "That was our response too," the man said dryly. "I thought you should know." He also inquired about subleasing while you're at work. We informed him that violates his sister's lease. I thanked him and hung up. Then I texted Ava. Please tell Tyler to stop contacting my property manager. Boundaries. No reply. That night, while I was inventing a recipe that used everything left in my fridge, a knock came at my door. Not a polite knock. A knock with a thesis. I opened it to find Ava standing with her parents and Tyler in a row, like a grievance committee. May we come in? Her mother asked, voice tight. No, I said. We can talk here. Ava's dad cleared his throat. We didn't teach our children to beg, Daniel, but we did teach them that family shows up. Tyler made mistakes, Tyler bristled. Alleged mistakes. And he needs help, her dad continued. We're asking you to be part of the solution. For Ava. 2 weeks ago, I said, you didn't know your daughter's definition of family shows up included throwing my sister and nephew to the curb. Ava flinched. Her mother's eyes softened for a second. Then her jaw found itself again. It was different. I lifted a shoulder. Everything's different when the arrow points the other way. Ava stepped forward. I miss you, she said, voice cracking. I hate how we ended. Tyler is a disaster, yes, but he's my brother. If we were married, he'd be your brother-in-law. Isn't there any version of you that wants to be generous here? There is, I said honestly. It's the version that paid for a hotel for my sister. It's the version that drops everything to take Leo to school and fix his Lego volcano. It's the version that believes generosity means nothing if it isn't consistent. Ava swallowed. So that's it. That's it. They left without slamming anything. That almost hurt more. Days stretched into a new kind of normal. I worked. I helped Nina paint baseboards. I learned the names of Leo's stuffed animals like they were co-workers. I slept like a person who didn't have to negotiate their values every morning over coffee. Then the last chapter wrote itself. Tyler's brand imploded. Clients filed chargebacks. His partner resurfaced long enough to post screenshots and then disappeared again. A lawyer sent a letter with words like demand and fraud. Tyler posted a story from a parking lot calling himself a martyr of the hustle. The comments were not kind. Ava texted me. I know you don't care. I know you think we deserve this. But I want to tell you something without fighting. I used your words with my mom yesterday. Boundaries that only protect me aren't boundaries. They're excuses. I'm trying to understand. I'm sorry, Daniel. I stared at the text until the screen dimmed. I typed, deleted, typed, deleted. Then I wrote, I wish we'd both learned sooner. 2 mornings later, Miguel, her dad, called me. We're helping Tyler. Not with money, with rules. Chores, curfew, no bottles. He's horrible at all 3, he said, half laughing, half exhausted. I wanted you to hear from me, man to man. You were right. I don't have to like it to admit it. I wish we'd been consistent before it reached you. I wish the same, I said. And for what it's worth, he added, we liked you. We still do. Thank you, I said. Tell Ava. Tell her I hope she finds someone whose boundaries match hers before anyone bleeds. He exhaled. You too, son. The lease came up for renewal a month after the last time I saw Ava's face. I thought about staying, but the place held too many conversations that felt like a person holding a knife by the blade. I found a smaller apartment closer to the hospital. The windows face a tree that throws dappled light like confetti every morning. On move-in day, Leo and I carried a box labeled kitchen, and he asked if he could put the heart back on my new fridge. Only if we do it together, I said. We pressed the tape down with matching palms. It held. Sometimes, late, I think about how things could have gone. We could have figured out a way to host Nina that felt safe and short. We could have offered Tyler a couch with a contract and a time limit. We could have been partners who drew lines together and enforced them together. Instead, I learned an expensive lesson at a cheap price. When someone says, "I don't do other people's chaos," what they might mean is, "I only do mine." Here's what I know now. Boundaries aren't meant to box out compassion. They're meant to keep compassion from drowning. When they become a wall that only opens on your side, they stop being boundaries and start being weapons. Marco, my brother, asked me last week if I regret anything. We were sitting on milk crates in my new living room eating greasy burgers out of paper. He'd just gotten a raise. Nina texted a photo of Leo wearing a cape made out of a bath towel and a cereal box crown. Honestly, I said, I regret. Not believing the very first time a sentence set off a fire alarm in my head. I regret how long I tried to make unequal feel like fair. I took a breath. But I don't regret this part. I don't regret being the kind of person who opens his wallet when a little boy needs a bed. I don't regret paying a hotel bill. I don't regret choosing to be an uncle over being right. Marco clinked his soda can against mine. To being somebody's safe place. To being consistent, I said. My phone buzzed on the crate between us. A message from an unknown number. It was Ava. I'm returning your grandmother's ring tomorrow. You deserve to give it to someone who won't ask you to lock the door on your people. I typed back. Thank you. We did love each other, you know. I watched the 3 dots appear, disappear, appear again. We did, she wrote. I hope you keep that part. I set the phone down. Marco nudged my shoulder. You good? Yeah, I said. I'm good. Nina's text chimed again. A video this time. Leo, cape fluttering, jumped off the couch and yelled, "For justice!" He landed on a pile of pillows, safe because someone had stacked them first. I laughed so hard I had to wipe my eyes. Then I pressed play again. And again. When you choose your values and keep choosing them, even when it costs your pride, your plans, your +1, life doesn't get easier. It gets clearer. You learn who your people are by who shows up with tape when things tear. You learn what family means by who says, 2 weeks, we'll make it work, instead of, not my problem. My fiancée told me once, I don't do other people's chaos. Turns out I do. Not because I like chaos, because I love people. And funny thing, when you love people consistently, the chaos starts to look a lot like a kid's felt heart on a fridge. Uneven, homemade, patched, still holding. That's enough for me. It wasn't.